Hey, let me know if you can hear me and see me. We are back after a quick delay not delay, quick week off, I guess, last week. So, gonna get into it in just a bit. Looks like we have Mike here. What's up, Mike? Let me go ahead and while people are still jumping on, I'm gonna post this everywhere on the internet. We got Frankie. Every time I see your name, I want to resist telling people to go to Hollywood. Or I have to resist it. Just doing Facebook today because I may want to share my screen and then the people on YouTube wouldn't be seeing my screen. So. Just give me 1 second, guys. All right. Not expecting a lot of turnout today. I know that a lot of people took off for the weekend, but I'm working for the weekend. I'm just all on the 80s songs today. What's up, Frankie? For some reason, this camera makes me look like I always have a sunburn, and I don't know why. I guarantee I don't. Raj, I'm just going to call you Raj because I don't want to mess up your name. It says, hi, Chris. I just want to know something about GMB. In some of the local SEOs, I've seen that they have marked the area with the red circle in the Google map. How to do that? I'm not sure. I would have to see an example. I'm not 100% sure what you mean. It sounds like it's a custom map or something, but if you're talking just directly on Google Maps, I'm not really sure. Yeah, so maybe if you can give me an example, I'll check it out. Otherwise, I'm just asking the group, but I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about. So we got Eddie. I don't really like that I can kind of see the audience, but not really. So it's kind of frustrating. And of course, Facebook again picks the worst thumbnail possible. So. And he says, "Hey, Chris, awesome live." Oh, excuse me. Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here. If my voice is still a little scratchy, I apologize. I think it's better now, but I had a rough week last week. So. Kirill says, "Howdy ho, buckaroo." I don't know how to reply to that, but hello. I'm assuming you just got back from doing CrossFit because you do CrossFit. Give it just a few more minutes. I'm going to actually try and share my screen today if I can figure out how to do it. I thought there was a share your screen button, but I'm not seeing it. So we may just have to wing it on that. I know I've seen it before, but I'm not seeing it right now. So if anybody knows how to share their screen on this, please let me know, but I'm definitely not seeing it. That's disappointing. Kirill says, "I just got done watering my veggies." Of course you did. Frankie says, "What are your thoughts on this new video carousel in the Google rankings? No longer showing one video for key terms. Follow your Superstar Elite video training. Anything you would update with this new Google video update?" I don't know. My feeling is that it's not. I don't think it's going to be great, to be perfectly honest. I don't know. I don't have any data to do that, but I know I scroll right past those now when I see it because to me it's like the way they do the images too. So I don't know. Test it out, see if you still get the same kind of traffic and stuff. But I don't know. To me, it's not as enticing to click. Maybe that's just me. That's totally opinion. I don't really like saying something is a certain way without data. Maybe that's nerdy of me, but my feeling is it's not going to do as well. Mike says, "Was so bummed last week got canceled. Happy to see you and Chris." Yeah, I felt bad about that. I actually almost did one on Sunday or something, but I figured it was best to give my voice some rest and get back to it. So here we are today. And I felt not just bad because I know people wanted to check it out, but I look forward to this too. So, but we're back today and we'll try to stay on it. I think that was the third one I've had to cancel in 7 months. So I think we're doing pretty good though. It's a sort of holiday weekend here in the States. Anybody doing anything fun? I say sort of, not because the holiday is not significant, just because it's in the middle of the week. So it's not really the holiday for a while yet. And I am not seeing a way to share my screen. I could have swore I'd seen that before. And I know I've seen other people do it, but I don't know. Maybe you can't do it in a group. Maybe that's what it is. Raj gave us a link. Let me take a look. Oh, you mean over on the map? It's probably their service area, but I'm not 100% sure. This guy cracks me up. Yeah, I don't really know. I'm going to be honest with you, though. It's not something that I think is really beneficial. It's hilarious to me that that's the example he used. That's a service area. That's kind of what I figured. Jeff, do you have to do anything to make that show up like that? It's probably not worth spending a lot of time on, but. Or does it just show your service area if it happens to show your map thumbnail? Show services are defined by zip code. Raj, I recommend you grabbing that $1 trial and then asking in the Academy group, and then we can kind of work through it and like try to, if you really want to add that to your listing, I'm sure it's something we could figure out for you. So we've got actually a pretty good crowd today. I'm surprised. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the one thing I do want to talk about today. And I'm going to use an example. If this person is on, please don't take it like I'm picking on you or anything like that. If anything, use it to your advantage, and don't anyone else take it that way either. But I have an example of a profile that someone that wanted to know why they weren't getting any sales. And there's a lot of different things that go into it, obviously, but these are some things you're going to have to get right before you can do any of the cool marketing shit that we talk about. So I'm going to paste that in the chat or in the comments. Take a look at it in another tab if you want, but being slow for you. Came up pretty quick for me, Eddie. Let me drop you the link it doesn't redirect to, see if that helps. Try that instead, see if that helps. All right, so anyway, yeah, please don't take it that I'm making fun of this person or anything like that. But, it just, let me see if I can, now I've lost it. You can tell we're live. On last night's webinar with Nico, we had somebody ask if we were live, so that's why I'm saying that. Let me find it here. By the way, for those of you that have been asking, that will be up later today. I just overslept today. So give me 1 second. Now I've lost it again. Looks like they've added some since last night. That's why. All right, now I got it. So again, right now it's nowhere, Jeff. It was a public webinar we did, and I'll have it uploaded for everybody to see, both Academy and non-Academy. So it must have been a bad time or something, because a lot of people that signed up for it didn't show up, and a lot of people today have been asking me about it. So anyway, I keep getting sidetracked. Here is the service the user that I want to take a look at. And if their username is blog post, which to me, I get what they're doing. They're trying to describe what they do, but to me, you want to create, and this is some of the stuff I wanted to talk about. You want to create like either a personal name or a branded name, like mine is Superstar SEO. That's a name that you can remember. Caleb has a great one at Drip Feed Nation. I think that's an easy name to remember. But my point in doing those is it gives a certain amount of trust. You know what I mean? Like it's a brand, like you don't go buy from fast food restaurant, you go buy from McDonald's. Well, I hope you don't, but you get my point. So that's one thing that I think that they should improve on, is that. The second is the profile picture is obviously a fake stock photo of a pretty girl. If I'm wrong and I just called you a pretty girl and it really is you, forgive me. But to me, it looks like a stock photo of a pretty girl. That does not make people trust you at all. It makes people think that you're fake and a spammer and things like that. So, and I'm not saying that you are, but that's the perception you get. So if you check out mine, I have a picture of myself. If you're not comfortable having a picture of yourself, you want to get like a logo or something made that people can identify with. So it's, again, creating a brand and looking like it trusts you. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and change mine to a picture of me actually wearing my Legiit t-shirt. And I think that gives a lot more trust too, because again, it shows that you're a real person and you're a real seller. So these are simple things that everybody can fix. I know that some of the other stuff you may not want to put in the effort to market your stuff. That's okay. But these are things that literally everybody can do, and that it'll improve your conversions a little bit. Now, I'm going to keep saying this, so forgive me, but I don't want to seem like I'm picking on this particular person at all, because they may be doing a great job. But if I look at their service page, there's almost no details at all. And there's no selling done. All it is a list of what you're going to get. And again, that doesn't build any trust. It doesn't make people look at that page and want to buy. It makes them click away from it. So all it says is what you'll get for $5 is 5 PR to 9 to PR7 authority backlinks, 2 EDU gov bad links, and yada yada yada. You can read it yourselves, but there's no selling on there. There's no. It doesn't tell a story. There's no formatting of the text, and it doesn't even really do a great job of telling you what you're going to get. So improve on that. Look at some people that are being successful and copy their sales pages, but explain to people why they need it and how it's going to help them, and that will help it a lot. And then just use, full sentences and stuff. Take advantage of this real estate. Use everything on there that you can to sell it. The image, they obviously have put a little bit of time into it. To me, it's a stock image with some text. I don't know. I'm kind of a hypocrite on that, because I don't always make the greatest images either. But to me, this looks kind of generic. I think that might help a little bit if you clean that up a little bit. So that would help some too. And then these prices are actually okay. I've seen some people whose very first service is something that's laid out kind of poorly, like this one is, and it's like $400. So you're going to have to, forgive my language, you're going to have to eat shit for a little while if you don't have an existing customer base or anything like that. Offer it a little cheaper, and this one is actually doing a good job of that. But others I've seen start with, $400 for something when they haven't built any trust to earn that kind of sale. So set up your profile to look like a real business. And these are things that take, 2 minutes. Put in a nice long description, maybe even cite some other places that you've worked. And this doesn't necessarily even apply just to Legiit. This can apply to your online presence in general. Scott and I talk about that a lot, is that people don't put enough thought into that. Anyway, get a picture either of yourself or get like a logo made, come up with a brand name that people are going to remember, because no one's going to remember a blog post. So stuff like that. Write out what you're going to do, but also why people need what you're going to do for them. And those few little tips alone will help get you more sales just from the site. Now, beyond that, you're going to need to market yourself, and that's a whole nother topic. But those are just some quick hacks I can't believe I said hacks. Those are some quick hacks to help you get your profile looking in a way that people are going to trust you and be more likely to reach out to you and at least give you a shot. So work on those. Again, if your blog post, forgive me for using you as an example, but it's just basic marketing, really. Set up a way that you look trustworthy and sell to people. So I hope that helps some of you. I'll post this. This will be posted on YouTube and stuff, but hopefully that'll help some. So hopefully that helped a little bit. Let's see. Raj says, I want to, scrolling off the screen. I want to know which PBN seller is trustworthy on Legiit. I want to buy some. In the past, I've bought. The metrics were clear, age, non-drop, but they didn't show any result. Who would I recommend? I'm doing my best not to recommend myself. So Hatred does a great job. Jeff does a great job. Ahmed has a good service. Kirill, I'm going by the real names. That's probably not helpful to you. Kirill is SEO Click. Jeff is Missing Link. Hatred is Hatred. So those are some good ones. So hopefully that helps. If somebody wants to drop their affiliate link right now for any of those, give Rajat your. Raj, give him your links. So Christopher says, I think I may have asked this somewhere, but do you think Google penalizes sites that sell black hat, gray hat services? I think your site's ranked fine, so I guess not. I don't think so. It's kind of surprising that they don't, but I mean, you can find, PBN Butler or whatever they're called now ranks well. I mean, Fiverr obviously ranks well. I mean, I've never had any trouble. Black Hat Links, I assume the blackhatlinks.com, I'm assuming ranks. So I'm surprised that they don't, but I haven't experienced that they do. Kirill says, great legit hacks. Actually, Kirill is a good person to go look at his profile because he's done a great job of making a brand SEO click out of his site, excuse me, out of his store. So he's a good one to look at too. I think I may have mentioned him, but yeah, check his out. Jeff says, be professional. Yeah, exactly. Like, even if you're just treating this as a side thing, which again, totally okay. Maybe I've, because it's been such a successful way of making money for me, maybe I push it a little harder, but I want people to have the same success I've had. But I forget that for some people, it's just something to make, an extra $500 a month or something. Excuse me. So, if you want to do that, even if that's your goal, these little things will help with that too. So, still waiting to get my site looked at. Did you said I haven't done a review for Academy yet, so this week. So I'll do one. If it's in that application, I'll look there. I'll do that. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but I do one of those a week. And and I don't think I've done one this week, so I'll do one today. I don't know which one is yours, but But if you're wondering where it is, you're in the Academy group. It's literally the great big post at the top that says, get your site reviewed. So click the link that's linked to in it. Excuse me, I get some water. Frankie says, when I do meetings with clients, I struggle with balancing listening to their problems by asking key questions, gathering pain points, etc., and balancing the others. This is a long one. Side of delivering my presentation without the meetings taking too long and the prospect having to go or having another meeting, etc. And our meeting gets cut short without me demonstrating all the value I can offer. What would you recommend I do to be able to close clients in my meetings in a compact time frame without dealing with this problem I keep facing? Well, first of all, I would find out all their problems beforehand. Listening to their problems, addressing them, getting all that done should be done in email or initial phone call or whatever. And the meeting should just be you going in there. And I actually don't really do in-person meetings, but if that's what you're doing, that should just be you going in there and showing, you've told me that your problem is A, B, C, and D. Here's how I'm going to solve it, and you should take it because I'm fucking awesome. Don't say fucking, but because I'm Frankie Soraka and I'm incredible, and you need me to solve this problem for you. But all of that should be done with your discovery form, with your initial email, your phone call, however you're getting in touch with them. But you should have all that. You should have all that knowledge before you go to them. So hopefully that makes sense. Definitely don't let them control the pace of the meeting either. I mean, you can't bully them, obviously, but you need to keep the upper hand at all times. Like, I probably go to an extreme with that because I will happily turn down business if I feel like I'm not in control of the situation. And I did that this week, actually, with somebody that was trying to bully me a little bit. But I feel like if you give up control, you're never going to have a productive relationship with them. Frank or Haji, I'm going to grab the link for you, and if you've already applied there, I'll PM you later and get to yours. Haji, I PM'd you the link to apply. If you haven't applied there, that's why I haven't seen it. But if you have, I'll get to it today. Jeff says I do a ton, mostly one-to-one meetings. I agree with Chris, I'd try and find as much information at first from them. Listen to what they have to say. If it's going too long, the client might be rambling. You might want to nicely get to what their objective is and their goals. Then how you can solve them. Most of my in-person sales close in at least 30 minutes tops. Yeah, I agree with that. Get the information from them ahead of time. Let them talk, a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to be rude, but find polite ways to interject yourself and then get the upper hand again and sell to them. So if you let them control the conversation, they're just going to go on and on and on about their problems, and you're not going to get a chance to close. And they already are suspicious of you, not suspicious, but skeptical. So definitely don't be afraid to sell yourself and your service. I'm sure you do great work. You should be proud of it, and you should take the control that it's needed to take in order to sell it to them. So hopefully that helps some. Good turnout today. I was surprised. I was thinking I didn't really get a chance to advertise. And, a lot of people are going away this weekend to like amusement parks and stuff. That was a jab at somebody in particular. But yeah, good turnout. I'm going to upload this to YouTube later too, but I originally planned to share my screen, and I knew there was no way to share it to both. So live streaming is great, but I think the technology has a ways to go. Yeah. And that. Check out superstarseo.com/trial for a $1 trial of Superstar Academy. We got some amazing results, and I don't even want to like commercialize it, but one of the pieces of feedback we got this week was some of the nicest things that anyone's ever said to me. So if you're watching, I appreciate that, and hope some other people will join so we can help them out too. Anybody from the 90s that recognize my shirt? I bought this at a vintage store recently. I've wanted it for years. Sub Pop was it was an independent label in Seattle in the early 90s that launched a lot of really popular bands. So I'm a nerd. All right, guys. What else do we got? Sub Pop. Yeah, Jeff. I thought you might recognize it. Yeah, that's why I've put it up like that. I saw it in the movie. What was the name of that movie? I want to say it was called Singles. I saw it in it a long time ago, but I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. And I saw it a long time ago, and I wanted it, and I finally found it. Even though I'm, going to be 40 in a couple weeks, I decided to go for it. So, made my day. Singles. Yeah, that was the name of the movie. Modeep says, "Hey, just came across you. Is the trial a full access trial or part?" No, you get everything. You get full access to Superstar SEO Academy. You get Superstar Consulting Mastery for Agency Pros. You get Legiit Freelancing Mastery. You get Superstar Maps Mastery. You get Superstar Local Video Mastery, all for $1 for the first 14 days, and then it rebuilds after that. But you can always cancel if you want. So. Sub Pop still have awesome bands. I'm gonna have to look into that. I thought that they went away. Definitely doing that as soon as we get off of here, because as I've never stopped aging, or I stopped aging in the 90s, basically. Jeff says access to Chris and I in a private group. And I guess I don't emphasize that enough. But yeah, I think that's almost where I don't want to say a lot of the value. The training is fantastic, but I think that's probably one of the most valuable portions of it. So for $1, literally, I don't know how else to explain the value in that. So, excuse me. Who else we got now? We got Rajesh. Rajesh sent me a funny link the other day. That made my day. Got Christopher, Mike, Haji, Jeff, Kirill, Frankie, and some others because it shows 15. So I've been told that I speak better when I'm talking to one person. So that's one of the reasons I always address somebody by their name. So I think it's a good tip. Frankie says, how many? Oh, now it's rolling off the screen. It's like if there's a pause and then a whole bunch of them get queued up or something. Anyway, Frankie says, how many SendWire Blast, bookmarks, status updates, Web 2.0 embeds, backlinks, everything should I do to PBMs pointing to money site? Also, same question for social signals. How many, and should it be for money site and PBMs? Okay, so there are different opinions on this subject. Excuse me. I really don't build many links to my PBMs at all. One SendWire Blast wouldn't hurt, I suppose, or one order of social signals. But for the most part, the point of a PBM to me is that it's a strong domain. And building links to it is kind of self-defeating. If you're going to do that, you could just create pumper sites instead. So I don't do any. Jeff Cozio disagrees, and he builds links to his PBMs. So there's no strict answer, but that's my answer. So hopefully that helps some. Jeff says, dumb question. I think I've asked before, but forgot. I'm doing some statewide SEO in Texas. My first across the state doing the same keywords in the big cities. Is duplicate content okay on my site, such as using the same keyword for Dallas scrapyard as Austin scrapyard? I've not experienced it being a problem. It's probably safer not to do it, but for me, once I figure out the right ratio and stuff, and I don't get a problem from using the somewhat duplicate content, I think it's probably fine. I get asked that question quite a bit, and I've always answered it that it's fine. And I have yet to see anything to tell me that otherwise. So for now, I would just go ahead and do it that way. Once you figure out, what works as far as, I'm drawing a blank, the amount of times the word keyword density and things like that. So I think it'd probably be fine. Got a question on another part. Michael says, do you do anything special to index your PBN posts? Not really. I do tend to put a video in my posts and use the video sitemap tool to ping Google, but that's about it. They usually index pretty good. Like if you get a good PBN, then the post should index pretty easily. Jeff says, good to know. Finally going forward with it. All right. Good for you. Good for you. I actually have it's not really comparable to what you're doing, but I have a statewide client in Texas that it's in a very, very competitive niche that I'm doing well with. So my point is that it can be done. So just go for it. It's really hot out today. I can even feel it in here. It's like 97 or something. Yeah, Caleb is on. Hi, Caleb. I mentioned you earlier. He is Drip Feed Nation on Legiit and on Facebook. So he's doing a great job building the brand. Michael says, is it risky to use the submit to Google function for your Google account for PBN posts? Probably not, because you want Google to find your stuff, but I don't ever really do it. Like I do the ping Google thing with the video sitemap plugin, but I don't, if you're talking about submit your URL to Search Console, I don't do that because I've never felt the need to. I would say it's probably on the safe side not to. What's the easiest way to remember the various tiers? This is Haji. 1, 2, 3, etc. I'm assuming you're talking about linking. Tier 1 is what points directly to your site. Tier 2 points to Tier 1. tier 3 points to tier 2. So just think of it, it's not a pyramid, so I don't want you getting that impression. So let's think of it as stairs, I guess. It's not a great analogy, but the top is your money site, and then the next level is your tier 1, and then the next level is your tier 2. So hopefully that analogy makes sense. So Ellen says, any chance of a follow-up on the Workhorse plugin? No, I don't do that anymore, really, because I only have X amount of time, and that plugin, it doesn't work that well anymore. Like, it's really buggy, and it's not supported, so. And honestly, I don't know what else I could possibly say that I didn't say in that video. So if you have a specific question, I'll try and answer it, but I don't know that there's a video worth of content on there on that. Frankie says, thanks for the last answer. Piggybacking on the last question, how many SynWire blasts and social signals should I do to my money site? I only ever do one usually, unless you're constantly changing out your profiles and things like that. But generally, I only do one. If I do a major update or something, I might do another one, but that's about it. For a site, it's mostly just good for diverse links. Jeff says, think of it as a waterfall. He's probably talking about the tiers. Yeah, that's a good analogy too. Caleb says, sup, man, and thanks again, man. See how I raised my voice to show that was in caps? I hope that came across. Laugh aloud. I'll do my best to keep up that cute little smile on you. Don't get funny. See, last time I ever say anything nice about Caleb. Just kidding. But now what we were talking about was setting up your profile on Legiit, and really for anything, to make it seem a little more professional and like a brand and build up a little bit of trust. Caleb is actually a great example. I guess I am going to say something nice about him again, because he's not ever been a service of the week yet, but he's managed to consistently get some sales on there just from building up some trust and building a brand and marketing himself. So if you want to follow someone that's not me, that would be a good one to check out. Jeff Tom says, I changed my address on my GMB. Should I do a new Google Maps blast or any tips there? Google Maps blast. I'm not sure what you mean by a Google Maps blast. Basically, you just want to update it in as many places as possible, though. Your citations, things like that. Ultimately, I wouldn't go crazy. I would update my GMB and update anywhere that the address is. And then if your ranking hasn't changed, I wouldn't mess with anything else. So I guess that answers your question. Not really sure what a Google Maps blast is, but ultimately, don't go nuts. Just change the address to match the current GMB, and you should be good to go. I'll look around and see if I can find it, but I PM'd you the link to the application, so go ahead and stick it in there too, and I'll get to that I'll get to that today for you. I could have swore I did one for you before, but maybe I'm wrong. Jeff says, yeah, I think I meant the citations. Sorry, juggling a few things. No, I get you. Yeah, just update your citations and anywhere else that you have access to that has your address on it, and you should be good to go. It's a huge, tedious thing, but check out, if you want to streamline that, check out a Mac Tech service, Wired by IT or something like that. Wired Byte, I think it is. I like that you spell cool with a K, Haji. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll do my best for you. Try to help you guys as much as I can. So. And I missed this. I'm glad I was able to do it again this week. We'll be more consistent now. But yeah, I really needed to give my voice a break last week. superstarseo.com/trial for your $1 trial of Superstar SEO Academy for 14 days. The greatest SEO training in the history of mankind. All right, guys, we've been here for about 40 minutes. What else you got for me? Running out of ways to fill the silence. Michael says, I see 2 pricing options on your Academy page. What's the difference? I'm not sure where you're seeing them both at the same time, but we have a 14-day trial, $1 trial, and then $97 a month, or you can just start today at $67 a month. So you have either of those options. Oh, would you run ads from a customer Google business page? Google's, yeah, sure. You know, I mean, you might get them a sale or two. Definitely, yeah. Especially with the $100 credit. Caleb says, by the way, have any of the videos you rank for go into a slider type thing? Yeah. Yeah, we just talked about that a little bit ago. Next time, try showing up on time, buddy. Just kidding. But now, yeah, it seems to be more and more the way they're going. And my thought is it's not going to convert as well, but I don't have data to support that yet. Jeff says, throw a curveball here. When optimizing for voice search, have you played with the meta info to see if this helps? I have not. I bought the Google Home that day, and I haven't used it since. So my thought is, I don't know, the only things I've really tested it for were local businesses, and it seems to just pull from GMB so far. So I don't know, maybe you've seen something different, but for me, it seems for local businesses, if I say find me, you know, the nearest pizza shop, it just goes by the GMB. So Alexander says, thanks for all the help. Most appreciated. Oh, thank you, Alexander. Appreciate you being here. I feel like I brushed over Caleb's question a little bit. Yeah, I have seen, it seems like most videos are being put into the, I don't know, carousel or whatever, the 3 video thing. And I just don't see how that's going to convert as well because I instinctively ignore it. But I don't know. We'll see what as time goes on. Jeff, what we're talking about is if you Google a term that you have a video rank for, instead of just having like the one video with a thumbnail, now it's showing 3 in a smaller like strip, like it kind of does with images sometimes. So let me see if I can't find one real quick. Oh, that's an interesting result. I'm going to paste an example here in the chat if it'll let me. No, maybe not. But yeah, just search up some terms and you'll see what I'm talking about. I think it's terrible, but I guess they just don't want you. I think they want you going to YouTube for video. So Caleb says, my bad, been at work. We'll show up sooner next time. Laugh out loud. I was just kidding, dude. Yeah, same here. I skip it now. Doesn't catch the eye as much. Yeah, I agree. Again, that's just theory, but it is what it is. We have to deal with the world the way it is and not the world the way it should be. So it's kind of a philosophy of mine. Alexander says, thanks for all the help. Chris, most appreciated. Also very hot here, 120. I'm glad to help. And yeah, that's insane. I've never seen temperatures like that. Kirill says, I haven't seen the carousel. I've been seeing the SERP results showing Google where it links to a video on their site and goes to it on their site. It's not, I've seen that too. What he's saying is you'll Google a term and you'll see the thumbnail like you did for a video, but it's not the YouTube. It's like if it's embedded on a site or something, it'll link over to that post or that page or whatever instead of going to YouTube. So I don't know what's going on with that either. That's actually a good thing if that starts happening regularly, though, because that's kind of a way around. That's a way of ranking your site with using the power of a video. So. It's very interesting because there's a delay. So I see myself talking like a couple minutes after it happens. And then I get very self-conscious because it's the ridiculous expressions and stuff. All right. What else we got? I'm here as long as you'll have me. That's what she said. All right, well, I don't want to sit here awkwardly. What else have you got? Or we can call it a day. Give it another minute or two. There's nothing as bad as dead air, though. So if you want to hear me ramble, throw me another question, or we'll call it good. I hate to wrap up with this many people on, but I already covered what I wanted to cover. So, are you also streaming live on YouTube? Not today. I was going to do a screen share on this one, but I can't figure out how to do it. And if I had, I wouldn't have been able to share it on both YouTube and on Facebook. And I would have been talking about stuff on the screen on YouTube that they couldn't see, so it would have been weird. So I am going to download this and upload it to YouTube later. Probably won't get many views, but at least the audience I have over there will still have access to it. So. And I just didn't want to set up my phone to do Instagram today. Frankie says, do you offer any one-time fees for local clients that won't do a monthly commitment? Yeah. It's not something ideal, but yeah, you can do, optimize their like social profiles or optimize their Google business or rank a video or do a press release, things like that to get them to trust you a little more. And that way you can go for the bigger ask. So that's something that a lot of people have had good success with. And yeah, you can definitely do that. Just get creative, think about things that they need. Don't tell them that what they have sucks. That's definitely not that, but say that this is something I offer for, X dirt cheap dollars and, earn their trust. Haji says, still using multiple cameras. What are you using for streaming? Yeah. It's against Facebook terms of service to send the same stream out to different places. And I don't want to do anything to make them mad because they locked me out last year. So what I'm using 2 cameras, but I'm also using a service called BeLive.tv, which is how you see the branding there on the screen. And it's also really good for bringing on guests because otherwise you have to use mobile. It's a great service. It's like $9 a month or something ridiculously low. So that's what I've been using to do that. And I think it's working pretty well. So, and I think with Wirecast, I think you can actually do it to Facebook and YouTube and stuff at the same time. But I don't want to do anything to make Facebook mad. Kirill says, how's your Instagram growth going? It's good. If you look at the number, it doesn't look like it's good, but that's because I had some fake followers that dropped off. But every day I'm adding quite a bit more. So, and I neglected it for a few days, and I could immediately see the momentum stop. So it's definitely about momentum, but it's going well. I'm getting clicks and views and likes, and most of all, I'm enjoying it. So it's going well. And it's definitely worth doing. It's probably the most underutilized traffic source right now. Don says, if your organic rankings are going well, but you're not ranking in Google Business, you need to idea what the main reason could be. Citations are built, map points made, etc. Okay, so make sure that your citations are 100% accurate. Then you optimize them, and this is something I learned from Jeff in the academy, is you optimize them as if you're trying to rank them too. You know, put some content, some images, fill out everything on them. That helps a lot. Build links to your citations. That'll help some. And then what else is there? You got to optimize, fill out literally everything in your GMB. Those are some basic ones. Without specific examples, it's kind of hard to say more. And then just go through, do some custom maps, some embeds, those sorts of things. But usually, if you do all of those, you're probably going to be okay. Maybe I'll link you to the post that I did a couple years ago on that and see if that helps any. Stuff has changed a little bit since then, but it'll give you a good idea. That should give you some more pointers because I know I'm forgetting things. Haji says, best YouTube marketing strategy. Is it in the academy? I'm thinking it's in the video course. Depends on what you mean by that. If you mean for like local terms, service and city type terms, then you can use that in the video course that's included with academy. If you want to market yourself, like create a YouTube channel and that, then you have to, first of all, figure out your niche, figure out a theme for your channel, and then have, good thumbnails, titles, descriptions, and things like that. So follow, if that's what you're talking about, follow Alex Becker. He does a really great job with that. So Jeff says, what happened for the lockout? Oh, from Facebook. Last year, matter of fact, almost to the day, it was, I went to bed on June 30th and I woke up on July 1st, and I got a message saying that they needed to verify my Facebook profile, that they'd seen some suspicious activity. They needed to verify with a text message. Well, I requested to get the text message sent, and I never got it. Tried different phone numbers, everything. I could never get it. There's no support from Facebook. And I even called my phone company, which was T-Mobile at the time and is not anymore, but and I couldn't do it. The profile wasn't closed either, so I couldn't appeal to have it reopened. So I eventually just had to build up another one. And then eventually they gave up on mine and they closed it, and I appealed to have it reopened, and they had it reopened. But I was shut out of the group. I was shut out of all my pages, my ads account, and not to mention, 10 years of my life. So I've been very cautious to make them mad since. Any thoughts or tips on new Instagram TV? Yeah, I definitely don't want to overlook it, but I don't think it's going to work. I think that people want bite-sized content on there, and it's really hard to format a 10-minute video the way they have it. So I don't think it's going to catch on. I could be wrong. I don't know. Christopher says, I like your social post on Instagram. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's kind of a creative outlet for me. I like to write, and once I get a topic, I just get going. So thank you. I appreciate that. I've put a lot of time into it lately. Don says, awesome. Thank you. No problem, Don. Yeah, just going back to the locked out of Facebook thing, that when I eventually got back into this account, there was a console message that said, your account was locked out for using automated tools to post to it, which was against the policy to post to groups, which I didn't do, but so I'm reluctant to use anything that's not Facebook approved. That's why the only chatbot tool I use is ManyChat, and why I don't use any kind of like auto likes or auto posts or anything like that. So I'm just terrified of that because so much of my business is tied up into it. That was actually where the idea for Legiit started percolating too, because at the same time, the other platform I was selling on, y'all know what I'm talking about, but had a lot of problems too. And I realized how reliant on other people's technology I was. So I started taking steps to diversify my business, basically. And I think that's an important lesson. As that, I'm sorry, I forget his name, but the guy that posted in the group the other day that had been on Fiverr for 7 years and got shut down. So that's another good example. So. Caleb says, sorry you got a bit of a long one here. First time you've ever been able to say that, right? I'm copying your 3-page process funnel to run ads too. Just finding a person to create an ebook for me, or going to do it myself. Writing is so fun. Sarcasm. Just about got the funnel pages made up though. Anyways, I'm thinking to do 1 blog post a week with a video, then another value video like on Wednesday, then lastly a sales video or offer on Fridays. Would you say I could actually automate it all into an email funnel after getting a good bit of content made? Or should I keep sending and promoting all of it on a weekly basis? Okay, so the way I would structure it is your sequence should be something like value, 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 pitch. So like value on a Monday, maybe it's value, value, pitch would be better. Like value on Monday, maybe Tuesday and Wednesday, or Monday and Wednesday, and then a pitch on Thursday for like a webinar or something. And then kind of repeat the cycle. So that way you can even set up an auto webinar for the Thursday thing. And that way anytime somebody opts in, they're kind of going through your whole funnel. So that's kind of how I would do that. So value, 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 pitch, value, pitch, value, value, pitch, value. That way it's at least twice as much value as there is pitch. So that and then, you don't have to you do need to keep creating new content, but you can set up the email funnel to where anytime somebody goes in it, they go into it, they get a bunch of value to get warmed up, and then they get an offer. So that's something I have not done as good a job on as I should, and it's actually on my board to do. But there's so much money to be made doing that, and honestly, it's probably the best way to do internet marketing. So check that out. So hopefully that answers that. If not, clarify. I love to talk about this kind of stuff. So let me know if you need more detail. So Kirill says Caleb got wrecked. Yeah, Caleb's one of those guys that just makes me want to make fun of him. And it's nothing he does. He's good guy. So Haji says, ManyChat is not against the Facebook terms of service, right? As long as you follow the rules. Now you can't, and Nico's a bit more of an expert on this than I am, but you can't send them offers if they haven't opted in the last 24 hours, but you can send them content. So you can't just say, I've got this for sale and this for sale and this for sale with your broadcast, but you can be sneaky about that too, like have an offer at the end of a YouTube video or something. But the software in and of itself is not against terms of service. Mike says, Chris, any tips on focus? For example, I've been having some really bad ADD as of late where my brain will want to do a million things at once. You ever deal with that? Yes. Because I was just talking with Jim about that today, actually. But we get so many things we want to do, and there's so many opportunities. It's easy to end up with a bunch of half-done things. What works well for me is blocking one day, or maybe more than one day, but for example, I have a day that I work just on Legiit, meaning building Legiit itself, not my services on Legiit. I have a day that I work on Academy. I have a day that I work on consulting. Blocking things off like that helps. I use FreeCamp, and I set up my big long-term goals, and then I break them down into smaller term goals. I'm not as great at this as I should be, but organizing in that way and structuring your life in that way will help a lot. And that way, it's kind of like it becomes your boss. You know what I mean? Like what you have written down will be what you do that day. So you don't get up and, just do whatever, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Problem I'm running into is as my businesses grow, there are more issues that come up, and I end up putting out fires all day. So I'm working on fixing that. So that's the struggle I'm having with focus, but organizing your stuff like that really helps a lot. So hopefully that answered that. It's something that you're just going to have to identify. That the fact that you identified that about yourself is a good sign. Now you can address it. You can see, I'm not spending enough time on this, so I need to block off X amount of time to work on this. Some people take it even further, like Gregory Ortiz does. I forget what it's called, but where he blocks off every hour of the day and doesn't do anything else in that hour. So you can try that too. I think that's a bit extreme. I don't think that would work for me, but it's definitely a valid technique. So, but I'm the same way, man. There's so many cool things I want to do and I want to work on. And, I end up doing a little bit of all of them, and only a handful really get the attention they deserve. And that's because other people are relying on me to make them work. So. All right, guys, we've been here over an hour. We'll give it another minute or two, and otherwise we'll wrap up. If you haven't checked out Superstar Academy, please do. Superstar SEO Academy, superstarseo.com/trial. It's literally $1, so, Kirill says, Pomodoro method of time management, Greg does. What are you, Yoda? Greg does. No, but thank you I knew there was a name. I couldn't think of what it was called. So yeah, check that out. That might work for you. It doesn't for me, but Caleb says, make fun of me all you want. I can take it. Well, you don't give me that kind of license, buddy. Makes sense though. I will put some more together with that info and definitely start checking into creating something I can sell via webinar, of course affiliate. Yeah, exactly, man. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be your product until you get something. Although the path that you're on, I think that you can eventually get a product of your own made, but get somebody else's affiliate webinar. Like, if you checked out the one last night, if not, I'm going to have the replay up later today, but check out Nico's. He has an affiliate program. Yeah, there's lots of affiliate webinars you can do out there, but they make for great lead gen too. Like, people will opt in for the webinar and then you get them on your list and you sell them stuff. So webinars are my jam. So Caleb also same on the ADD here, y'all. I never was able to do online task lists, but do like pen and paper, then blocking day into certain tasks. Yeah, exactly. I have a few because I have a whiteboard pinned up in my living room, which is basically my office, that of my great big Superman goals I want to achieve. And then I use FreeCamp to break those down. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm going to ask this. Does anybody, I looked like I was raising the roof there. I'm watching myself on my replay. If anybody has an email deliverability expert, hook me up with them. That's something that I need some help with. Now, I don't need help with the marketing or any of that kind of stuff. I'm talking about, setting up the records and making sure that I inbox more often and things like that. So if you know anyone, let me know. Please make sure that they can prove that they know what they're doing and stuff, though. So it needs to be somebody good. Don says, I have to say the vendors that I've worked with on Legiit have been awesome. Great service. You must screen them pretty well. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. Screen them, yes and no. It's not so much that because we can't obviously test every single service that gets on there, but we've kind of set it up in a way that the cream rises to the top. So if somebody's doing a good job, they're going to get rewarded with more. I can't give out. There's some inside baseball there that I can't give out, but we have people monitoring it, and we take it very seriously because I've been massively successful with selling, and I spend a lot, so I know what to look for on both sides of that. I'm trying to integrate that into Legiit, so I appreciate that. It's always nice to hear. Thank you very much. Haji says, "Did you say free camp? Free camp." Let me link you to it right now. It's basically like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Basecamp, but it's the same thing except free. If I was Basecamp, I'd be pissed at how much they aped, what's the expression? Salted their game. It's also how I communicate with my director of operations, which is I basically, the guy that runs my service business, technically he would be considered a VA, I guess, but this week I decided that he is now my director of operations. So that's how we communicate, and that's how I communicate with some other people that do some work for me. So I think it's a great tool, and you can't beat the price. So definitely use that, whether it's to help keep yourself organized or if you're working with VAs, things like that. I can't recommend it highly enough. For free, it's absolutely absurd. I think I actually pay $3 a month because I needed more storage. But I mean, come on, it's such a great tool. It makes me mad that I didn't think of it. Alexander says, just signed up to your course. Oh, well, thanks a lot, Alexander. We're glad to have you on board, buddy. Looking forward to working with and learning more. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Krill says, I need to try webinar stuff, just too fearful of wasting money, time advertising for it. Okay, so what you do is start building up your list and just sending them to other people's offers, and just sending them content until you get up enough of a list to where you can get 50 to 100 people on, and then you send them to that. And do lives too. Lives are like the new webinar. So I get why it's scary. I was absolutely mortified the first time I did one. And, there is a lot of building lists takes time and money, and I get why you don't want to lose that, but man, nothing converts better. Nothing will help you more. So I think you're in a good position where you can start doing them soon too. MD says, hi, Chris. Hello, MD. How are you? All right, guys, what else you got? I'm here as long as you'll have me, but I don't want to sit here silently either. This has been a good session today. I'm a little bit surprised because I thought it would be slow. All right, we'll give it another minute or two. Otherwise, we will wrap it up. MD says, I'm good, thank you. Well, that's good to hear. Glad you're doing well. Thanks for being here. I have a little bit of cabin fever. My regular gym is closed for renovations, and the alternate location they have isn't 24 hours, so I've not been getting out much the last couple of days. It's getting kind of frustrating. Haji says, how many funnels do you run? I was recently shown one of your YouTube ads for the group. A lot. But the main two are that one that you just saw, and I'll explain that one in just a second, and one I've been running since October for a Google Maps book that's gotten me just thousands and thousands of leads. And then I'm working on another one. Like Caleb was saying, writing the content is tedious, but I run a lot, and it's absolutely the core of my business now. So that one you saw on YouTube actually displays to anybody that's watched my video in any of my videos in the last 2 days. So it displays to anyone that's watched the video in the last 2 days. And then it doesn't show it to them again for a week. So that's what that does. And that works really well because the clicks, the views are really, really cheap. I'm getting like 7-cent views that way. And, you know, if even one of those pays off, it's worth it. Marty, Member Academy, what does that say about targeting? It just means that you watched my my videos within the last week, one of my videos within the last week. There's only so much you can do to filter out that sort of thing. But, you know, Academy has a couple hundred people. So even if all of them see it again, it's not that big a deal. But it's basically what I do there is I create the video ad, and then I place it. I just show it on any placement to anyone that's watched my video, any of my videos in the last 2 days, or maybe it's last week. I think I have it set it the last week, and it only shows it to them once a week. So YouTube ads, super, super powerful. That's something I learned from Becker, and he's absolutely right. Driving so many leads, so many people into Academy. The only thing that sucks about them is it takes so much time to make new videos, but absolutely worth it. That and Instagram are the cheapest traffic sources in the world right now. So it's interesting because my business is SEO, but I'm growing it so much with paid traffic. So hopefully that answers that. All right, guys, it's 4:11. I will stick around till 4:15, and then we'll wrap it up. How can we optimize Legiit profile? We actually covered that a little bit at the beginning of this live, but I'll go into a few things. You want to get a profile photo that's either your face or a logo. You want to come up with a brand name. So like I'm Superstar SEO, Caleb is Drip Feed Nation, Kirill is SEO Click, I think is what it is. They both have logos and brands. That way it builds trust with people. Then you want to go through and get well-written descriptions on each of your services, as well as your profile description. So not just explaining what you're going to do, but explaining why people should buy it and what problem you're going to solve for them with your service. You want to get some nice looking images. I'm not the greatest example of that, but get some nice looking images that aren't just stock things. What else? And, you know, use enticing titles and things like that too. I don't think I mentioned that earlier, but don't just say 5 PBN links, you know, come up with like, for instance, my PBN service is Premium PBN Network, things like that. So hopefully those are some pointers that can help you out. Alexander says, on Legiit, who would you suggest for backlinks? Depends on what kind of links you're talking about. Fortune says, would you also recommend paid traffic for getting client over the other methods in Academy? There are paid and non-paid methods. I recommend you try all of them and figure out what you like best. For getting SEO clients, it can be done, but it isn't my all-time favorite, most effective method. Next month in July, that's what I'm going to be adding a little more to, though, is the client getting section. But for me, the most effective methods were cold calling, cold emailing, and in-person stuff, and LinkedIn. Ads worked second, but I don't want to depend on them. But the ROI is super high on them too. So even if you spend, you know, $1,000 in ads and you close $1,000 a month client, that's a 12x ROI. So it's definitely worth doing, but I wouldn't recommend. Would I recommend it over the other methods? No. And when I'm talking about it from growing my SEO business, my SEO business isn't necessarily the same because, you know, I offer services, I have a platform, training, and, you know, I'm going to have my DFY service that's going to launch soon. Some of the Academy people already jumped in on that. So it's not, I don't have the traditional agency model, so it works a little differently for me. MD says, great, I'll work on that. Yeah, and then, those are just some great tips. Those alone aren't going to get you sales, but if you don't do those, you're not going to get any sales. Hopefully that makes sense. Those alone may actually get you some sales. Like the people that have looked at your profile or your services and haven't bought might have bought if your profile, and I don't know if yours is or isn't, but it might have bought if your profile was made to look a little more I don't want to say professional, but professional. Somebody's teasing me with the reactions. It's got to be Caleb. I have a fragile ego. Don't give me the hate. Don't give me the angry reaction. Chris, I have local video mastery course and maps will be updated if instant Google algorithm. I have local video mastery courses and maps will these be updated for instant Google's algorithm affects them. The video course, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm probably not going to update that because, if something comes up that I notice, I'll add it to it. But for the most part, that's either going to work or it's not. We'll have to see if those changes affect it, but I'm not going to probably update that. The maps course will be updated as time goes on. Caleb says, I've got a role, but we'll start showing up more for these. A couple last questions for you. Do you and Becker write out your emails? Now let's scroll off the screen. I've got to get more in my emails than such short little bits. I can't speak for Becker. I think he writes his own. I absolutely write my own. And started for YouTube ads for subs. May try a couple more of those, but we'll start doing ads towards the value type videos. Then as time goes on, for ads for actual products. So this is a little tip I'll give you. This is worth thousands of bucks here, so pay attention. I was just talking about how I show my ad to people that have watched my videos in the last X days. So what you can do is get one of your content videos and do a video discovery ad to that, run traffic to that so people see it. Then they're going to see your ad because they viewed your video in the last couple of days. So you're using the ad to the one video to drive views. And then since people have viewed that, then they're going to see your other video drives them to your offer. So that's a great tip that's been working well for me the last couple of weeks. Lastly, thank you again for all these awesome shout outs. I hope to see more brands coming up and becoming legit. Well, thank you, buddy. And you're looking for a unique and safe link service, try my new Legiit gig. Yeah, there you go. Check out Christopher's service. He did a great job with the Quora service a while back, and I'm sure these are great also. I'm actually looking at it right now, if you're wondering why I've gone silent. Yeah, I think these would probably be a great service. So I haven't personally checked it out, but check it out. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and call it, even though we still have 15 people on. So if you have any last minute questions, slide them in right now. Otherwise, we're going to start. I'm going to go through my wrap it up spiel. Appreciate everybody being here. I know that Friday afternoon is probably not the most ideal time for everyone, but I don't know. To me, this is a fun way to cap off the week, and people seem to appreciate it, and I sure look forward to it. So I appreciate you being here. If you're watching this somewhere other than in the Facebook group, check out Facebook group, superstarseo.com/Facebook. Follow me on Instagram at superstarseo and on YouTube at superstarseo.tv. Alan says, are you still doing a white label SEO gig? Yeah, that'll be dropping probably next week or the week after. We already launched it to the people in our academy. So if you want to jump in on that, you can check it out there too. Basically, we wanted to get a handful of users on it to work out the kinks and that sort of thing. So yeah, if you want to get a discount on our SEO, our DFY SEO service, then jump in Academy as well. So that's all I got for you this week, guys. This was a blast as always. I appreciate you taking the time and hanging out. If you have any questions, always ask me in the group, and we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot, guys.